Ask Me Anything by Redical. I'm a British guy currently in a French prison. Ask me anything. Hi. I'm a British guy currently being held on remand in a French prison. I've been here around 8 months so far. I'm on remand while French authorities conduct their investigation, so as yet have no firm date for freedom, but my lawyer feels it's unlikely to be beyond 18-24 months in total. I can't go into further specifics regarding my cases that may compromise my anonymity. Proof is a picture taken from a friend's cell window of the exercise yard, known as the promenade. Link. I will try to hang around and answer questions until about 2 AM CET, UTC +1, edit. Well past 2 AM here now, so I gotta get to bed. I may try to check this account again tomorrow and answer any outstanding interesting questions. Thanks for the company. The evening has flown past. Take care. Although you cannot say any specifics, are you in jail for a comparably equal crime in the UK? Like if you did the same thing back home, would you be in a similar situation? Or would you have been tried and given probation or something else you think? I'd be bailed in the UK. If I was a French national, I'd have been bailed here too. How come you can use the internet? How good is your French? Smartphones are common although illegal. Estimates I've seen on the news say for 69k prisoners there are 33k phones in the prison system. My French has improved steadily. I'm able to communicate freely in French now. It took about 8 weeks before I could hold a basic conversation with a total non-English speaker, and about 4 months before I was happy I could delve into more complex conversations. What are your plans when you get out? I remember hearing, perhaps years ago, that French prisons were particularly bad in condition compared to other first world countries. Do you feel you are treated humanely? Read any good books while you're in there, assuming they have a prison library you have access to. You're right, the French prison system is notoriously inadequate. The police are awful. The first 4 days in police custody was hell. The prison guard system are generally okay but just extremely overcrowded. Now I speak French, I do feel humanely treated. Maybe 2-3% of prisoners here are sleeping on a mattress on the floor at the moment though. I don't read fiction, so sadly the library is useless for me. The English section is full of soppy romance novels. I last read Sapiens by Harari, which was enlightening, and a charity sent me serial killer investigations. Kinda bad choice to send to a prison, no. Which I'm struggling through at the moment. Are they letting you use a phone? How's the food? I am allowed to use the prison phone, which is recorded. It took 4 months before they gave me permission for that. So as you can imagine, I bought an illegal iPhone when I heard they were available. You can survive on it, but you will not enjoy it. Tonight was cheese pancakes. Sounds better than they taste, with salty boiled carrots. If you have money you can canteen food, equivalent to canteen or commissary elsewhere, and cook for yourself on a very low powered hot plate you can buy. It takes around 2 hours to cook a good meal, but luckily we're not short of time here. Where are there outlets for you to charge your iPhone? I assume it's like that one kid in school who has a charger and every other dude in class wants to use the charger. I have a wall plug. I actually bought the iPhone for €300 and then the wall plug for another 50 later. The TVs have USB sockets which can be used to charge phones, as do DVD players we can buy. They're painfully slow, 500 mAh, for a smartphone, but people can still manage with them. Bonjour. I am not French prison guard doing a legal phone search. What cell are you in? Can you give me a tour of the prison and your exact position? You've already searched my cell recently, chef. You missed 2 iPhones and 3 chargers. In all seriousness, the guards are more easygoing on some guys than others. If you're a pain in the ass to them, they'll return the favor and rip your cell apart weekly. If you're mellow and hang around with other mellow guys, they'll search you once a year, if that. How is sanitation and overall hygiene over there? Judging by the picture it looks pretty dirty, so I'm assuming it's pretty bad? Cells are a bare concrete box. You can make them as clean or dirty as you like. We have a bathroom cubicle in the cell with a toilet, sink and shower. Normal guys shower daily and send their clothes to laundry weekly. We're provided with bleach and washing up liquid sponges, creme cleaner, so there's no excuse to be dirty. If you smell, you will be kicked out of the cell by your cellmate and end up with some other stinky dude. That is not ideal. If you're clean you will be placed with another clean dude and your life will be much easier. That picture was taken about 2 weeks ago. Was planning to do an Ask Me Anything but always been busy or too lazy. When we'd just had 2 weeks of prison guard strikes. Rubbish wasn't being collected so people had to toss all their crap out of the windows or have rubbish festering in their cells. Consequently the promenade became even more filthy than usual. It's usually dirty outside but not quite that bad. Do you have a kind of self-made liquor you drink? If so, how is it made? How much was your iPhone in there? What else can you buy from those phone dealers? I know one guy who makes liquor from fruit. I've never tried it myself. Smartphones are 300-500 euros and dumb phones are 70-100 euros generally. Mine was 350. You can buy anything if you have the money. The local lads will pay someone, often an old prisoner, to throw missiles over the wall which are retrieved inside. If you want something you can request it and it'll arrive in 2-3 weeks. The price will often be inflated by 4-5x. The most audacious I've heard of within time I've been here were a laptop and an iPad which both got found by guards. I've seen an old cellmate buy cocaine and hashish is insanely common. Everything I know about French prisons is from the Count of Monte Cristo, so I'm just going to assume that you are in exactly the same situation. Have you heard any rumors of a mad priest in solitary confinement? Have you tried digging through the walls? Are dead prisoners dropped into the sea with a cannonball tied to their feet? Are you a good swimmer? An old cellmate had a USB full of movies which worked on his DVD player and I watched Shawshank with him. Their walls were made of crappy crumbly concrete. No way to dig out of this place. Have investigated in the first few weeks. Huh. If you are sentenced, what's the remission like? Any visits? Is the kitchen the best place to work? If you're a foreigner, can you get to a open low security prison? I was locked up in Ireland. So interesting to compare the French system. Edit. Thought of some others. Is it all 2-man cells, any singles? Can you buy PlayStations and the like? In Irish prison you get 15 quid a week and an extra 350 for working. What's it like in France? After about 3-4 months family visits are typically approved. Remission typically just under 50% off. 25% for good behavior and 25% for efforts to improve yourself and integrate with society, like working and learning French. Then bureaucracy adds a bit of time so it's typically a bit less than that. Kitchen is probably the most consistent and well-paid place to work. No chance of getting open low security. Here the doors are kept locked and unless you're scheduled to go out for a specific reason you just get 2x 1 hour periods in the exercise yard daily. In the summer most people go out as much as possible but in the winter most people stay in and the promenade is pretty empty. 2 men per cell. If you're unlucky it can be 3 to a cell with 1 unlucky bigger on the floor. You can't buy PlayStations. You can just buy a radio and a DVD player. But DVD are banned in the post so if you're a foreigner there's no way to get movies. In France you get 0 automatically and maybe 5-10 euros per day for working. Maybe more if you get promoted. Have you ever been in British prison? If so, is it better or worse than French prison? Nope, so I'd just be guessing. If I had a chance to go home and finish my time I'd probably stay here though. The first couple of months are always going to be the hardest and now I can speak French reasonably well it's not so bad. If I had to go back to the UK, I'd be starting from scratch again. You have internet access, unfettered, from prison? Not officially, but yet, phones are known to be commonplace. I saw an estimate on the news suggesting 33k phones for 69k prisoners in the French prison system. They can be easily bought from the locals. Which football team do you hate the most? Probably PSG, haha. Comment Kava. Ça va bien, merci. Do you think you will use your French when you get out, career-wise? What are your plans for when you're free again? Unlikely I'll use the French if I'm honest. I can already speak 3 languages fluently, which is probably why I picked up French relatively quickly. I've never used them for work. Never say never though. I haven't thought much beyond getting home. What are your thoughts about Brexit? Obvious mistake for the UK as a whole, but we're stuck with it now. Will be interesting to see how it all plays out over the next 4-5 years. On a personal level the exact terms will make very little difference as I doubt I'd be traveling to France again anytime soon, haha. What is a huge discomfort problem that none of us thinks of when thinking about prison that you found out the hard way, besides the obvious no freedom, shitty food etc? Is there something that actually had a positive impact on you so far? Greetings BTW. In the first few weeks, fingernails, sharing clippers is a risk for Hepsi, so not a good idea in prison. It was about 4 weeks before I figured out how to buy nail clippers lol. Probably the only positives are learning French and weight training. What sort of jobs and duties are given to prisoners? Do people get to do any sort of work for pay? Main work is in the kitchen or doing factory type work. Pay is around 5-10 euros a day typically. If you stay in the kitchen for a long time you can be promoted to higher grades where max pay is around 1000 euros a month. Not many people make it to those grades, but it is possible. Factory workers do stuff like putting perfume into boxes or stuffing envelopes. The more they do, the better their pay. If they don't work hard enough, the guards stop calling them to give new guys a chance. I know being locked up sucks, but good on you for using it to learn French. I think the other English speakers are making things unnecessarily difficult on themselves by not learning it. Also, you said salty carrots with your dinner? Damn. We didn't get salt on anything from the kitchen US, and even though we had a huge canteen selection, they didn't sell it. When people would get their teeth pulled, they'd get salt packets and then trade with people for them. I read that hash is everywhere either. Do you smoke it? In my state, Suboxone was a big thing in lockup. People would just stick the strip, cut into halves or quarters, where you seal the envelope, and it was surprisingly easy to get away with. They have prisoner possessing contraband charges here, but usually they just give you an in-house charge and you do like a 30-day lockdown, so most people felt like the punishment was worth the risk. Anyways, I hope your time goes by. PM me if you ever want. I've been in your situation and know the feeling all too well. Edit. A word. Thanks for the post. Appreciated. Most food is not salted and no fat oils are used in cooking. Even chips, fries to you, are bloody steamed. But occasionally the kitchen staff dump a ton of salt in a dish to the extent it's unpalatable. Tonight's salty carrots were not good. How do you perceive time while in prison compared to being free? Does a day feel longer or shorter? It's all a haze. I wake up at midday for lunch, then have 5-6 hours to kill before we're locked in for the night. Once doors are locked after dinner at 6 PM, the guards will not open them again until the next morning. So 7 PM until 2 AM I can use my phone and listen to music or watch Netflix and browse the net. Rinse and repeat. It goes relatively quickly, but it's not enjoyable. Outside I'd be working or seeing friends, family all the time. Here I just try to get each day to disappear into the abyss. Sure, I go to the gym, read and learn French etc, but it feels like a waste of life really. Have you ever considered a Shawshank Redemption type of move? I don't think he has a different level of time to achieve it. So how do you keep the cell phone bill paid? Family on the outside, or is this included with the cost of the phone? You can get the locals to buy top-ups. Typically they'll ask for a 2x markup. 10 euros of credit will cost 20 euros. I get someone I know outside to buy top-ups in cash and send me the code in an encrypted message. What thing about prison surprised you most as opposed to pop culture interpretations? People are kind generally. I didn't allow anyone to give me anything, even a sucking mint, for about 2 months because I had the idea that everyone would be trying to turn me into a sex slave. Slowly I came to realize most people are cool as long as you're cool with them. If you generally keep to yourself and everyone sees you hanging with good guys, trouble won't come looking for you. Thanks for watching this radical video. Subscribe for the best Reddit videos straight to your feed 3 times a day.